What simple life hack should everyone know? Google it first. Get into a routine of stretching your hip flexors and chest if you sit for long periods. Absolute game changer for people who suffer with chronic lower back pain as a result of being hunched over a desk. 5 minutes of daily exercise is infinitely better than 0 minutes and will make a big difference. No matter how good a person you are, at some point you will be the bad guy in someone else's story. You can't please everyone, and you shouldn't try to be a good person and have friendships with people you can respect and look up to. Edit. Holy guacamole Batman, thank you for the golden awards. Kind intraweb strangers. If you have trouble choosing, flip a coin. While you're waiting to get the result, your mind automatically starts to wish for what it wants. Then you can choose easily. If there's a jar or container you can't open, run the lid under hot water for 30 seconds. Dry it so you can get a good grip. Then open. Never had this not work. Some pretty good stuff on here. Don't take criticism from someone you wouldn't take advice from. Edit. You've taken my advice. Take my criticism. Reddit awards are dumb. You should support a local brewery instead. Buy anything you'd need in your kitchen from a restaurant supply store. Anything. Plates, glasses, pans, etc. There are a few online that sell to consumers. Those $8.99 tongs at a box store are like $1.30. A 16 ounces mason jar glass that sells for $3 to $4 a piece can be bought as a 12-pack case for $8.55. Oneida china plates that sell for $345.84 a case for $57.84. I just bought a 2-foot by 2-foot wooden butcher's block cutting board that would have been close to $400 for $55. Edit. Also, this crap is built to last years in a commercial kitchen under constant use. It sure as crap can handle your Sunday brunch cooking ass. Edit. 2. I've been buying from here. https://www.webstaurantstore.com. Edit. 3. For those asking about the EU, KM Camo replied www.hughjordan.com if you're in Ireland. Best site in fast delivery Ireland. Edit. 4. Yowza. I'll get to responding to all of the questions this week. Thank you for the gold. Platinum et al. But no more please, and thank you to those that reached out looking to tip on apps or Bitcoin. Please consider donating to my favorite charity instead, Project Pinball. They provide and maintain pinball machines free of charge to long-term children's hospitals and take donations. Sell merch, or if you're feeling lucky, they run 2 continuous raffles at $50 and $75 a ticket that close every 200 sold, where the winner gets a brand new pinball machine shipped to them. If you put something down temporarily, say out loud, "I've put the screwdriver by the microwave," or whatever. This engages many more areas of the brain, particularly the language centers, which creates a richer memory, making it less likely you'll forget where you put it. Most of life is just showing up to things. Brush your teeth more thoroughly before bed after you are done eating and drinking for the day. Morning brushing is important too, but more so for fresh breath, while evening cleaning will prevent bacteria from breeding and damaging your teeth and gums. In a lot of daunting situation, for example asking someone out or standing up for yourself, you only need to be brave for a few seconds to get it over with. Most of the time keeping your mouth shut is a great option. If you want to wear something white, light in color, wear underwear that matches the color of your skin, not white. Sometimes changing your pillowcase daily can help with acne. I use a clean t-shirt over my pillow to accomplish the same effect. Train yourself to always keep an eye out for things that need to go in the direction you are going. If you are about to go downstairs, does any item nearby need to go with you? Perhaps a cup can be brought to the sink on your way to the bathroom. Honey does not go bad. If it has gone solid, it has just crystallized and can become liquid again with just a little heat. If you ever fall off a ship, ferry at sea, and were lucky enough to be spotted, don't try to swim your way to safety. The more you try to swim, the lesser the chances of survival. Just try to keep afloat and conserve energy and body heat while rescue team do what they're supposed to. Unless you are in hypothermic waters, the best bet always is to stay afloat without trying to swim to somewhere. This information about falling overboard hypothermia and conditions, survival at sea etc. are based on my own experience of 12 years sailing on merchant ships like this. P.S. Link will take you to a time-lapse video I made when sailing under the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, USA. This kind of ship is called a container ship. Turn your bed mattress when you renew your blanket. Through time your mattress will deform and that can make you sleep worse. Edit. Some mattress have a specific side and top that they need to be. Thanks for pointing that out, you shaved ape. Not necessarily a hack per se, but learn some basic knife skills. The amount of time you will save chopping vegetables a few times a week, minimum, for the rest of your life far outweighs the amount of time it takes to learn. Plus you can use the extra time to keep the kitchen clean, and that makes everything less stressful while you're cooking and makes the cleanup faster as well. To confirm which circuit breaker is associated to an outlet, plug in an old radio and turn the volume up before you flip the circuit breaker. Whenever you have a time to be somewhere, aim to be there 15 minutes early, to allow for time snags, or for traffic. People respect punctuality. If you bring something to someone's house that you don't want to forget, put your keys with it, assuming you can trust the people there. Also, get a Tile or similar Bluetooth device so you never lose your keys or phone again. If you have a spare minute or are just playing video games or on a computer at home, take a few minutes to just pet your dog, cat and really appreciate them. A phrase I heard somewhere just really stuck with me. Pets are only a part of your life, but you are your pet's entire life. Read the 3- and 4-star reviews for the most reliable information on Amazon items. Manners and general politeness will get you far and become the norm with but a small amount of practice. I'm not talking overboard, milady, but a simple please and thank you with a genuine smile. You will often have to make decisions in life without being able to know all the information related to the choices. Being able to identify what you don't know is invaluable. It allows you to make assumptions and contingency plans if those assumptions fail. I want to slap every person that quips. If you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. You cannot function in life without making assumptions. The trick is to identify them as such so that you can be better prepared when they are resolved. Not really a life hack, but a general advice. Do what works for you. It doesn't matter if it's unconventional. If it works, it works. I have ADHD, and for me that means keeping things organized is difficult AF. I also have a hard time remembering pretty much anything. I keep my laundry in boxes underneath my bed, organized by color. That way I won't forget anything in the laundry basket. I just empty the whole thing into the washer. Also makes it easier to see what I have to wash first. I live in Sweden, and here we have sort of a deposit. Sorry if that's not the right word. On most plastic bottles and cans. I.e. we pay like 20 cents for the bottle. Can. We then return it and get the 20 cents back. Most people keep those bottles and cans in like a wardrobe or such. However, I am terrible at putting those in there. I forget to bring them there and it just starts to pile up. Instead, I had a laundry basket just within reach from my bed, so I just had to lean out and put it in there. Unconventional, but it worked. I have like a million of these weird hacks going, but the important part is that it's okay to do what works for you. It doesn't matter if other people are able to just do it. If it's hard for you, it's hard for you. I've had to explain my solutions a few times, but in the end, most people agree that sure it might not be what they're doing, but it's better than the alternative. When moving house, always set up your bedroom. Make the bed first so when you're exhausted and just had enough you can fall into bed. Nothing worse than being exhausted and having to make the bed before getting into it. Edit. Good grief, that blew up. Thank you for the awards. Edit 2. To all the grammar Nazis. I apologize profusely for using your instead of your. I don't always proofread as well as I should. But please, get a grip. It's a typo, not axe murder. If you fricked up, admit it, unless you are talking to cops. But in most situations just admitting how you were wrong and accepting responsibility is so much easier than trying to blame someone or something else or make up an excuse. When you own the mistake, it puts the onus back on the other person to accept that. Be mature and move on. If you try and deny or shift blame, it forces that person to examine those reasons, and if they are BS, come back at you, dragging the process out and leading to unpleasant call-outs and confrontations. Tell the people you love that you love them more often. Turn natural peanut butter, the ones where the oil separates and you have to mix it, upside down for a few hours. It will bring the oil to the top and make it a lot easier to mix. Then, after you mix it, put it in the fridge and the cold will solidify the oil so you don't have to mix it again. Edit to a few points. Natural peanut butter doesn't solidify to a point that it's hard to spread when cold, so that's not something you have to worry about when storing it in the fridge. To the person who said just buy emulsified, I mean sure, but Adam's peanut butter is best peanut butter. And I know someone was going to call out my a lot. Haha. Regularly change the oil in your car. On time. Do it. Will help it last longer. Edit. What in the frick? So that's what happens when your inbox blows up. Thanks for the award too. My first. The easiest way to remove blood stains is to use bar soap and hand wash it. Works better than using laundry detergent. If you're having trouble getting your baking paper to fit your tray, scrunch it up first and then unfurl it. It stays in the pan easier and fits like a dream. When you're cooking and the recipe calls for onions and garlic, don't put the garlic into the pan until the onion is nearly translucent. Garlic cooks way faster than onions do. If you throw them in at the same time, it won't taste as good. The garlic will burn. It literally takes 30 seconds for minced garlic to cook. Also, if you're a home cook, sharpen your knives often. Thought of a few more tips. Love chives and parsley in your eggs, omelets, anything else, but hate the hassle of cutting them, using the herbs before it turns. Get dried chives and dried parsley instead. It rehydrates quickly in sauces, eggs, and tastes the same. It's also way cheaper. This tip can apply to a lot of herbs. While fresher is always better, dried is often still delicious while still being in a student-y budget. Add a bit of vinegar to your beans if you're making anything beany. A lot of home cooks think that vinegar is gross, and it is by itself. But a dash of vinegar can really make beans, sauces and marinades pop. If you want someone to get more mad, you tell them to calm down. If you're planning on spending a decent amount of time drinking at a busy bar, always make sure you give the bartender a really good tip on your first order and ask them how they're doing before you order. Chances are you won't have to wait very long on your next couple of orders. Don't buy things you can't afford. Always poop on company time. This way, at the end of the year, you will have earned like 2 workdays' pay by pooping. Hence you will be a professional pooper and also less money spent on toilet paper at home. Hanging picture frames. Put painter's tape from edge to edge on the top side of the frame. Trace where the hangers are. Peel the tape off, then stick it to the wall where you want your frame hung. Tap your nails into the pre-marked spots. Then remove the tape and hang your frame. If you want to open a glass jar, like jam, pickles, and the lid won't move, place a spoon with the tip under the edge of the lid and pull the spoon upwards. The lid will bulge and you can open the jar. Never talk to cops in case of any serious legal trouble. Always ask for a lawyer. Surprised how many people don't really know this. If you're in a public restroom having to poop and are using an automatic flushing toilet, put a bit of toilet paper over the motion sensor at the back. This will prevent it from flushing before you're ready, which might scare and/or splash you. Also, a tiny bit of paper on the water itself will prevent the splash when you drop your poop. Just remember to take the paper off when you are done to initiate the flush. Mostly applies to the USA. In a pinch, the seat belt in your car can be used as a bottle opener. Don't take life advice from internet strangers. That X% of Y is the same as Y% of X. 8% of 25 is the same as 25% of 8 makes calculating sales at stores much easier. If we ever go back to stores. Learn how to cook 2 or 3 meals. Use as little out-of-the-box items as possible. I make chicken Alfredo, spaghetti and meatballs, and tuna or chicken casserole. This means the excuse for eating out all the time is not as prevalent and is something you can do to show off a little bit. If you accidentally have caps lock on, instead of deleting it and starting over, you can highlight the caps and hit Shift and F3 to switch it back to lowercase. Edit. Thanks for the awards, because so many people are asking where this works. I know for sure it works in Office, Outlook and our internal system at work, but it's not universal. Sadly, I couldn't say where it does and doesn't work. Putting your Oreos in the fridge makes them taste far better than room temperature Oreos. If you need help, ask for help. It's a strength, not a weakness. Grin. Mask. Glasses. No worries. Use dish soap and wash your glasses with it. Here's the catch. Don't use water, just wipe off the soap with a soft towel and fog is no more. If you throw a house party where you, as the host, plan on getting quite drunk, start the cleanup while drunk. Trust me, waking up to a clean house when you're hungover is fantastic. Drunk you will barely remember, and sober you has so much less to worry about in the morning. Best way to be healthy is to get the correct amount of sleep. Don't go on a strict diet, but learn to portion properly and make sure you have a variety of food. Then be active. First two are more important than the last. Simple marinara sauce. Put crushed garlic and onions. Mushrooms optional. Into pot and cook until onions are clear. Add can of crushed tomatoes. Season. Italian season works perfect. Stir occasionally. Salt to taste, and when it's hot it's ready. Find coping skills and practice. Practicing when you're calm will help your body recognize what you're doing and calm down. If the only time you do a coping skill is when you're upset, it may stop being effective. Identify toxic people and remove them as much as possible from your life. Apologize. Say you're sorry and explain why you are. Find friends where it is a two-way relationship. You're there for them and they're there for you. Make each other better people. Find a hobby and become passionate about it. Might lead to more friends. How do you find it? Try something new and don't be afraid to be a noob. You'll find a lot more people in a hobby willing to help you than that'll make fun of you. Finding a significant other is fantastic, but remember to maintain friendships and hobbies. They should complement your life. Mental health is just as important as physical health. Emotions are real. Get comfortable with all of them. Understand what you're feeling is okay and natural. You're not any less because of how you feel. Find a therapist before you need one. Sometimes you need to talk to more than one to find the one that fits you. Therapists aren't only for times of crisis. Love more and hate less. Hate usually comes from not understanding. There are not excuses for people's behavior, but everybody learns to cope or adapt to situations in different types of ways. Some are more effective than others. Love yourself. Accept who you are. You are beautiful. Learn when it is time to give up. No one is successful at everything. People fail. Relationships fail. Dreams aren't always achieved no matter how hard you try. Enjoy the little things. Keep that inner child alive. Remember, don't sweat the small stuff, and it's all small stuff. Lastly, slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. Eat Cheetos with chopsticks. If you use a bidet, you'll never have to worry about running out of TP during a global pandemic. Whenever somebody you know mentions something that they like, need, or favorite things, keep a note of it on your phone. Eventually you'll have a list for all your friends and family that you can dip into whenever you need to get them a gift. No one actually knows what they're doing. Don't discuss politics at work. Life is not a rehearsal. Alright, the government doesn't want you to know this, but the ducks in the park are free. You can take them home. Stop wasting money on chip bag clips. My kids always break them, so I buy clothespins instead. You can get a pack of 50 at Walmart for about $1. Seriously, pay your bills when they arrive, not when they're due. Banks, credit card companies, mortgage lenders, utility services, etc. absolutely love it when people wait until the last minute to pay their bills. When I signed up with my bank, I read the agreement and got the personal banker to concede that yes, they made a lot of money off late fees. They're not alone. The thing is, paying your bills when they arrive doesn't cost you anything extra. If you can get into the habit, you'll always be ahead of the curve. And if something comes up which necessitates you holding off on a bill, you've got a couple weeks to figure it out. It also relieves a considerable amount of stress. It's a bit like homework. Don't put it off until the last minute. Get the assignment done when the teacher gives it to you. "Oh boy, I fricked that up. I'm sorry. I'll try and fix it," is a lot easier to say with some practice than excuses or shifting blame. After you say that, it's on the other person to act as maturely as you just did. Don't cough if you have diarrhea. I heard it's game over. You don't actually need to keep contact with your family. If a relationship with them causes any anguish, you're allowed to cut them out. Their failures aren't yours. Become attractive and the world is your oyster. When you're in a group of people and they start laughing, see who looks at each other. People look at the people they feel closest to when laughing. Edit. I realize this isn't foolproof, but typically people look at their closest friend or a partner. A lot of the "I look at the floor" comments have rolled in haha. When you have cold cereal, put the bowl and a glass of milk in the freezer for about 10 minutes beforehand. It will be the best cereal you've ever had. The milk stays cold, and it keeps the cereal from becoming soggy so quickly. You can also just perpetually keep an empty bowl in the freezer, which works for cereal or ice cream. Edited words. Buy a pack of bagels, slice them all into halves, the way you usually do before you chuck them in the toaster. Put them back into the pack, plastic bag, whatever, and into the freezer. Result equals pre-sliced bagel you were going to toast anyway, plus no chance of mold and waste. Rinse your rice before you cook it. This might be an obvious one to some people, but rinsing it really does noticeably improve it. I haven't looked back since I was taught it not terribly long ago. As soon as you wake up, drink 2 pints of water, about 1 liter. It will wake you up like caffeine and get you pooping in about 30 to 45 minutes. Like clockwork. Always post on your cake day for that boost in karma. Sometimes, you agree with people, so that they stop talking. If you fry kale in olive oil, it slides off the plate into the bin much easier. If you make a mistake, don't hide it. Own up to it when you realize your mistake. But when you confess to your mistake, have a solution ready to suggest. That way, you're accepting responsibility, but you're also moving the focus to the solution. You'll be seen as proactive rather than error-prone.